special report. And we're back again. Y'all ready? Hold on, let me set everything up.
The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
You already know what it is. HHS special report.
Going berserk, you would get hurt. Hitting with bullets in front of a church. Don't gotta rehearse, give them a hearse. Callers got sleeping while he going to work. The bus at that bank, cause infamous pranksters when I come through, your life is in danger. Pull out the banger, this is a banger. Turn that shit up, I'm busting that ranks. I am a gangster, killing you bastard. Y'all can't fuck with the lyrical bastard. Causing disasters, better call back up. They can't say niggas nigga got faster. Don't even matter, already dead. Coming through, put it in the gun in your head. This what I said, look at the dread. Dome the face of the competent dead. There is no living when I get to rip it. Perfect, I feel it, you better get rid of it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. Perfect, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. Perfect, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. Perfect, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. I give the dark, I give the light. I give the weapons, go creep through the night. Ready to fight. If you the enemy infantry, nigga, I'm taking your life. Doing it right, getting you sight. Shooting the fair, I get off his bike. Dare the rights, fight for your life. While the government taking our rights. We need to fight, we need to fight. I am killing the fair tonight. Cutting the pieces like he gets defeated. Leaving the leader, yo, listen the light. With on my mic, I'm burning the face. Or you really be getting erased. This is the case, look at the state. Hurricane here, you know I don't play. Hey, there is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. The prophet, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. The prophet, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. The prophet, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain. There is no living when I get to ripping the drilling. The prophet, I feel it, you better get with it. But you just stuck in your feelings, treated me like a villain.
Salute.
Hit harder than the boulder, coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics spinning bolder. Coming came be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hitting harder than the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics spinning bolder. Coming came be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hitting harder than the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics spinning bolder. Coming came be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hitting harder than the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics spinning bolder. Coming came be the Midwest soldier. When the blood gotta spoke quick, after that I gotta spit a bunch of dope shit. Tell the hit anybody get his dope kick. Lay him on the ground, shoot him with the 4-5. His body gotta throw it in the ocean. I call this poetry in motion. That don't make sense, what you spoken? Don't know, but the weed got me floating. Call the baby girl till it come over. And she better put her legs on my shoulders. Ride out, got the keys to the Rover. Backseat, she better bend over. Gotta put another bomb in the envelope. Give it to a politician, kill him on a boat. Revolutionary killer while you taking notes. Keep an SMG tucked to the coat. Bringing the standard with automatics, tell me who was the baddest. The hurricane coming through and I'm tragic. I'm bringing storm in the flame and I'm making you panic when the gun go bang. Got me doing some damage. I'm a maniac, only attack. I'm ready to attack like a brains. I nigga snap back with that track. Matter of fact, I'ma keep this shit on the track, Jack. Walk around with a gun in my backpack. Kill a motherfucking beat before we clap back. Spitting bullets when I'm spitting on the fast track. Revolutionary music is a soundtrack. Now we on the battlefield with a bomb at. Send a nuclear missile away your mom at. Battlefield like I'm playing Mortal Kombat. Who's gonna stop that? They call it to the boulder. Midwest soldier, revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hit a corner to the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hit a corner to the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hit a corner to the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier. Coming through, hit a corner to the boulder. Coming through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier. Come through, hit a corner to the boulder. Come through like a Midwest soldier. Revolutionary lyrics to the boulder. Hurricane be the Midwest soldier.
Rogue One.
You already know it. Shouts out to everybody. About to play the new track. Me and Jordan, Can't Save the World.
You can't save the sheep. Fucking NPC. Speak the truth from the streets. Slow it down on the beat. Hurricane Jordan Akron. Not an ordinary hit, this an anthem. Laid back, spitting flows on some real facts. I don't think they're ready for this real track. We know the world fucked up. Sitting here trying to tell you not to give up. You can lead a horse to water, can't make him drink. Still trying to use my lyric just to help you think. Used to pour my sorrows, then I sip the drink. Put myself from the darkness, now I see. Revolutionary pointing out the enemy. That's the day I had the epiphany.
You can't save the world. No, no, no. No matter how you try. They gotta see it for themselves. You can't force, open the eyes. Can't save the world. Can't save the world. No.
No place for a hero. Try to save the world and they treat me like a zero. I put messages through the lyrics, showing y'all they get to me, but y'all don't wanna hear it. Y'all dance with the world revolution. Y'all wanna coexist with the evil that's abusing. Crazy shit is not amusing. They want us divided and keep us in confusion. Vibe to the beat is what you came for. Government always win, it ain't gonna change, bro. That's what they tell the bees, so preposterous. Guess in your heart the government is monstrous. Open up your third oculus. You must believe in yourself with the properness. Fuck the awkwardness, spit the truth to the populace. Hit you with the hottest mix.
You can't save the world. No, no, no. No matter how you try, they gotta see it for themselves. You can't force, open the eyes. Save the world. Can't save the world. No.
No place for a hero. They treat me like a zero. Now I'm the anti-hero. Gotta give my dinero. Can't save the world, bro. Time to let the world go. Just let the words flow. Gotta let the world know. Can't save the world, yo. Time to let the world go. Can't save the world, yo. Jay, let the word flow.
They gotta see it for themselves. You can't force it. You can't force it. They gotta see it.
You know we always play the new hits twice. You know we gotta play it again. Shouts out to Jordan Akron. This is the new track going on a new project. Because I'm done with the rebellion.
You can't save the sheep. Fucking NPC. Speak the truth from the streets.
New exclusive.
Slow it down on the beat. Hurricane Jordan Akron. Not an ordinary hit, this an anthem. Laid back, spitting flows on some real facts. I don't think they're ready for this real track. We know the world fucked up. Sitting here trying to tell you not to give up. You can lead a horse to water, can't make him drink. Still trying to use my lyric just to help you think. Used to pour my sorrows, then I sip the drink. Put my darkness, now I see. Revolutionary pointing out the enemy. That's the day I had the epiphany.
You can't save the world. No, no. No matter how you try, they gotta see it for themselves. You can't force, open the eyes. Can't save the world. Can't save the world. No.
No place for a hero. Try to save the world and they treat me like a zero. I put messages through the lyrics, showing y'all they get to me, but y'all don't wanna hear it. Y'all dance around the world revolution. Y'all wanna coexist with the evil that's abusing. Crazy shit is not amusing. They want us divided, they ain't keep us in confusion. Vibe to the beat is what you came for. Government always win, it ain't gon' change, bro. That's what they tell the bees, so preposterous. Guess in your heart the government is monstrous. Open up your third oculus. You must believe in yourself with the properness. Fuck the awkwardness, spit the truth to the populace. Hit you with the hottest mix.
Can't save the world, no, no, no. No matter how you try, they gotta see it for themselves. You can't force, open the eyes. Can't save the world, can't save the world. No.
No place for a hero. They treat me like a zero. Now I'm the anti-hero. Gotta get my dinero. Can't save the world, bro. Time to let the world go. Just let the words flow. Gotta let the world know. Can't save the world, yo. Time to let the world go. Can't save the world, yo. Jay, let the word flow.
Can't say they gotta see it for themselves. You can't force things. You can't force it. They gotta see it.
HHN Special Report. Now it's time to get on to the news. HHN Special Report. Do y'all believe in this crazy ass ceasefire? I know I don't. This is the HHN Special Report. Let's go. All right. Shouts out. In celebrity crazy news, we got Corey Holcomb just finding out some shit about Poetic Flacco and shit, some old shit, and he's trying to call ICE on Poetic Flacco. So is that snitching? But this 2-week ceasefire is crazy. But YouTube is on some bullshit, y'all. Let's talk about YouTube real quick. They hiding likes and shit.
Seems to be hiding likes, and this may eventually be a plan for them to remove likes altogether. Tons of people on Reddit and Twitter right now are reporting that they can't see the like button on YouTube anymore, especially the numbers next to it. So it ends up looking like the like and dislike buttons are not working anymore on YouTube. This is happening across various videos on various channels, and I know a lot of you guys are thinking, maybe this is just a bug, right? Well, there's a reason why I waited a while to make this video. As you can see, some of these main posts were actually made about 12 to 13 days ago. Specifically, this one says March 24th. It's for this bug to actually get ironed out, but it seems like people are still experiencing this quote bug, which leads to the very worrying conclusion that this might actually be a hidden feature that YouTube is testing, and it might not be a bug at all. Another reason that leans towards the conclusion that this might not be a bug is YouTube has actually experimented with hiding the likes before. A year ago, I made a video called YouTube is removing likes. It's because once again, a lot of people were seeing that YouTube likes are gone. As you can see from the visuals, it looks exactly like how it does now, and YouTube is infamous for testing out hidden features that they don't want to show everybody yet, and they're just like, you know what, these are just experiments, and we're going to go ahead and roll these out. And regardless, a lot of times, whether people like or don't like the update, they just roll it out anyways, because YouTube is just at that point where they are so big and they have such a monopoly in the video sharing space that they just don't really care what people think about it, and that's the problem here today. This person said 12 days ago they removed the likes. Not only this looks bad, but they also just ruined an actually good and iconic feature. Next is to just delete the buttons entirely. Why even have them at this point? This is being reported all around the world right now. It's not like something where people in the United States are just experiencing this. Apparently people all around the world are having their likes disappear right before their very eyes. According to multiple first-hand accounts from Redditors, likes have completely disappeared from YouTube. The scale of these issues, coupled with the number of impacted users chiming in on the comments, indicates this is widespread. It's also hard to determine at this point whether this is an intentional change or just a bug. That's because, once again, YouTube is infamous for just rolling out experimental changes and not telling anybody about it. A lot of people are actually speculating that this is actually a small test that has not reached out to everybody yet, and the reason why people think this is actually intentional is because a lot of social medias, including YouTube in the past, have experimented with removing their like button. As this article pointed out, Instagram actually temporarily hid the like button in late 2019, citing mental health concerns. Now, this is something that YouTube has actually pointed out before too. That's actually why YouTube said that they removed the dislike button. When YouTube originally removed the dislike button in 2021, they were actually stating that they did this because people were getting hate attacks on their channels, like people were hating on people's videos in mass mass spamming them with dislikes, and they were saying that it was affecting the mental health of their content creators. But the real reason that a lot of people speculate, which I actually agree with, is that a lot of companies were upset with their videos getting disliked and complained to YouTube with threats of pulling away from any sort of support for YouTube. Another very widely accepted theory on why YouTube actually got rid of dislikes is because YouTube was getting mass disliked on YouTube Rewind. YouTube Rewind used to be YouTube's yearly showcase of their content creators and all the stuff that was going on the platform in terms of memes and trends and stuff. But ever since 2017, YouTube took a much corporate role in terms of making their YouTube Rewinds, and they got a bunch of dislikes, and this actually resulted in YouTube possibly actually hiding the dislike count because of this. And then in YouTube Rewind 2019, as you're watching right now, they did a lazy-ass compilation instead of doing an actual rewind, which got even more dislikes than the previous one. So that is their reason for going ahead and hiding dislikes on the platform. But in terms of likes, it might actually be something similar where they're going to use that excuse of, oh, we want to go ahead and protect the mental health of our content creators. For example, when Instagram did it, their entire point was that you would compare your likes with somebody else's, and it would cause you to feel upset about your own numbers. And so Instagram hid it for a while, but obviously they got a ton of backlash and they brought it back. YouTube has not taken the same approach when it came to dislikes. And remember that YouTube also has a big spot for likes in terms of how their algorithm works. Apparently, the more likes that your YouTube video gets, the more it'll get pushed out, or at least that's what YouTube claims. But yeah, at this point, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that YouTube is actually hiding likes? Do you guys think that they have plans to remove them, or do you guys think this is just a bug? I would actually lean towards this being a secret feature that YouTube is testing out, just a little experiment like they like to do frequently. They've done so many similar types of experiments. Yeah, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the situation.
Yep, YouTube on that bullshit, so be on the lookout. All right, be on the lookout.
On the air with some breaking news. Just moments ago, the President of the United States announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran. It comes just hours after the President had threatened, in his words, a whole civilization will die. The President was said to be considering striking so-called dual-use targets in Iran after an 8 p.m. deadline tonight. I want to get right to Gabe Gutierrez with the latest from the White House. Gabe, the President putting this on Truth Social and laying out a framework for a ceasefire deal.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, there have been a lot of fluid developments throughout this afternoon. And just a few minutes ago, as you said, the president posting that message on social media saying that he has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. He says that he's agreeing to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for those 2 weeks. He calls it a double-sided ceasefire. However, we have not heard from the Iranian regime when it comes to this proposal, but also significantly, Tom, in that Truth Social post, the president said that the U.S. had received a 10-point plan from Iran. So again, a lot of unanswered questions here about how we move forward, but this all comes after a rapid fire series of developments throughout the day. I spoke with the president earlier today. He said that he couldn't talk about the negotiations. They have been ongoing really throughout the day. But that message is something that the entire world had been watching. It was just a little bit more than an hour until that 8 p.m. deadline. Earlier today, the Iranian government had asked people in Iran to stand outside bridges and power plants. And now there's breaking news. That message from the president is holding off for 2 weeks.
We thank you for that. I want to get right over to Courtney Cuby. She covers the Pentagon for us. Courtney, explain to our viewers, what does this mean Iran has to do right now? What do they have to do to make sure the strait is reopened?
Yeah, at this point, it's not clear that Iran has actually agreed to reopen the strait. If you look at the Truth Social that we just got, literally minutes ago, it says it's subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. He agrees to suspend bombing and attack for a period of 2 weeks. I've been speaking with U.S. officials. At this point, there is no confirmation that has actually begun with on the U.S. side, at least, of this. And then another thing that really stood out to me in that Truth Social posting, Tom, was the saying that the U.S. has met and exceeded its military objectives. I mean, one thing that we have learned over the last week is that Iran still has the ability to not only hold U.S. aircraft and U.S. assets over in its skies at risk, but to really continue to target regional allies. We have seen them fire off the same amount, if not more, ballistic missiles targeting civilian infrastructure in the region over the course of the last several days. They continue to fire dozens of drones every single day, Tom. They are not down and out when it comes to their conventional military.
That is right. If we can put up that Truth Social post one more time, an important last sentence there, saying that this agreement is concerning a long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East, a definitive agreement there. We're going to see what happens there. This is going to conclude this NBC News special report for right now. We're going to have much more online at NBCnews.com.
Yeah, some crazy shit. Allegations. False. Allegations. Here's why I say it ain't gonna be no ceasefire. All I say is all bullshit, because when motherfucker was talking about a ceasefire days ago, those motherfuckers like, nigga, we ain't doing no ceasefire. Here's the proof. This was 6 days ago. This is before the ceasefire.
I was on the phone with a senior Iranian official, and I asked him about this. He was laughing and said President Trump is trying to get any kind of stances here and try to translate them into what fits him. He wants a ceasefire, and the issue is that the Iranians haven't asked for anything like that. Abbas Araghchi told yesterday, our bureau chief here in Tehran, the same issue. We're not looking for a ceasefire. He was completely clear. There is no talks going on, and whatever is happening currently is just messaging, and this messaging is going through several channels. The ones who are in charge of diplomacy are mainly the Foreign Ministry and the Supreme National Security Council. The president hasn't been in the loop. Yes, he is the president, he takes decisions, but he is not the central person when it comes to deciding on these issues, because these issues should be decided by the Supreme National Security Council, and then it goes to the Supreme Leader Mujtaba Khamenei, who is clearly taking his responsibility and calling the shots, giving the harmony we are seeing within the different layers of the system.
Right. So what the hell going on? And Pete Hegseth bitch ass motherfuckers is like, yo, this nigga about to get impeached, but it's just the Democrats coming at him. If some Republicans was with the Democrats talking about Pete should get impeached, then it'll be some shit. But like there's some controversy on Mr. Pete.
The United States and the free world for 47 years.
But like this is speech though. This is the
chance of death to America, targeting our people, killing Americans, lying and blackmailing their way.
Accusations
has been a threat to the United States and the free world for 47 years. Chance of death to America, targeting our people, killing Americans, lying and blackmailing their way toward a nuclear weapon, so they thought. No longer. Not on our watch. Other presidents marked time and kicked the can down the road. President Trump made history. From the strike that took out Qasem Soleimani, to tearing up the disastrous Obama-Iran deal, to the precision campaign that obliterated Iran's nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer, to the decisive military victory we just achieved in Operation Epic Fury. No other president has shown the courage and resolve of this commander-in-chief. President Trump forged this. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the president this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield. A capital V military victory. By any measure, Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come. You see, in less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism proved utterly incapable of defending itself, its people, or its territory. We untied just a fraction of our strength, and Iran suffered a devastating military defeat. Together with our Israeli partners, America's military achieved every single objective, on plan, on schedule, exactly as laid out from day one. Iran's Navy is at the bottom of the sea, whether it's the Soleimani class, their frigate class, their prized drone aircraft carriers, submarines, mine layers, sunk. Iran's Air Force has been wiped out. Iran no longer has an air defense, any sort of a comprehensive air defense system. We own their skies. Their missile program is functionally destroyed. Launchers, production facilities, and existing stockpiles depleted and decimated. And almost completely ineffective. Iran shot hundreds and hundreds of missiles and one-way attack drones at our aircraft carrier. They were obsessed with it, and they never got even close. Every single one of those shots easily shot down miles and miles away from the Abe Lincoln. They were blowing ammo into Fantasyland. Contrast that with, most significantly, in last night's wave of more than 800 strikes, we finished completely destroying Iran's defense industrial base, a core pillar of our mission objective. they have left buried in bunkers is all they will have. They can still shoot, we know that. Their command and control is so decimated they can't really talk and coordinate, so they still may shoot here and there, but that would be very, very unwise. But they can no longer build missiles, build rockets, build launchers, or build UAVs. Their factories have been razed to the ground, set back in historic fashion. You see, had Iran refused our terms, the next targets would have been their power plants, their bridges, and oil and energy infrastructure. Targets they could not defend and could not realistically rebuild. It would have taken them decades, and we were locked and loaded. They couldn't defend against it.
Man, most motherfuckers blew up a school full of girls. Fuck everything that PXF say. Whether what he said is the truth or a lie. Fuck Pete Hegseth. But man, salute Big Dog Philly OG. What up, though, bro? But after all that craziness from Pete Hegseth, he about to get impeached. But like, I don't think he is, because like there's not enough power to motherfucker get him out. But this motherfucker is part of the genocide.
Shockwaves in Washington. A top Pentagon official now facing impeachment calls over the handling of the Iran war. Congresswoman Yasemin Ansari announcing she will introduce articles of impeachment against Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. The accusation, repeatedly violating his oath of office and involvement in what she calls an illegal war. At the center of the controversy, the question of authority. Who decides when America goes to war? Ansari argues only Congress has that power and claims the administration bypassed it. She also alleges reckless endangerment of U.S. troops and serious violations of international law. Among the claims, strikes on civilian sites, including infrastructure and a reported school bombing incident. The Pentagon has defended its actions, saying operations are necessary to weaken Iran's military capabilities.
Yeah, so blowing up a school full of girls was necessary. That's why I say fuck Pete Hegseth. Yep.
Hegseth himself backing the strategy, calling the campaign essential for U.S. security. But the political fallout is...
How is blowing up a school full of girls security, man?
Growing fast. Ansari also calling for action against President Trump, even suggesting invoking the 25th Amendment over what she describes as dangerous statements. All this as the war with Iran continues to escalate, with new strikes and new threats emerging daily. President Trump has warned of even more aggressive action if Iran does not comply with U.S. demands.
We have a plan, because of the power of our military, where every bridge in Iran will be decimated o'clock tomorrow night, where every power plant in Iran will be out of business, burning, exploding, and never to be used again. I mean, complete demolition by 12 o'clock. And it'll happen over a period of 4 hours if we wanted to. We don't want that to happen. We may even get involved with helping them rebuild their nation. And you know what? If that's the case, the last thing we want to do is start with power plants, which are among the most expensive thing, and bridges. You saw the bridge went. We were very close to a deal. And then I got a call from...
But despite the noise, analysts say the impeachment effort is unlikely to succeed. With Republicans holding control, the numbers simply aren't there. Still, the move sends a powerful signal of deep divisions inside Washington. A war abroad now triggering a political battle at home and raising a bigger question, not just about strategy, but accountability.
World leaders are done with Donald Trump. Get the hell out of our air bases. Get the hell out of our airspace. You are committing war crimes, and we are not going to aid and abet your war crimes in this catastrophic and unlawful criminal war against Iran, as you're now threatening to rain down hell kill and bomb Iran and the Iranian civilization to the Stone Age, the United Kingdom has now joined the growing list of countries that are refusing to allow the United States to use their airspace and their air bases. We knew about France and Austria and Spain, and we knew about many of Italy saying, do not use our air bases and our airspace to commit your war crimes. And the United Kingdom is now saying it is refusing to allow the United States to use air bases, particularly the Royal Air Force Fairford and Diego Garcia bases, which long-range strategic bombers with the U.S. Air Force have previously utilized on a case-by-case basis to carry out strikes on Iran for missions that target Iranian bridges, power plants, or other civilian infrastructure, citing concerns that such strikes could harm civilians and constitute war crimes, senior officials tell the I-Paper. And this evening, Donald Trump says at 8 p.m. Eastern time, he will be raining down hell. He's going to blow up all the power plants, all of the bridges. He says he's going to destroy essentially the civilization of Iran. And the UK saying, we're not going to be a part of it. Good luck. See you later. This is a massive, massive development over here. The special relationship between the US and the UK gone. Frankly, at this point, NATO only exists in name only. NATO just had enough and the European Union has enough. Look, if you don't want to be a part of NATO, if you want to continue to attack us, good luck. Hungary, Viktor Orban trails in the upcoming election, which is set to take place in the next week or so, against a pro-democracy, pro-European Union party. And Viktor Orban is now being supported by the Trump regime and Putin, and they're all trying to create these false flags to try to start some war with Ukraine or to claim some authoritarian powers to basically shut down the elections in Hungary. It's one of the things that Orban's trying to do. I'll get to that in a moment. But with that happening, U.S., Russia, Orban working together to try to tamper with the elections where Viktor Orban, Putin's puppet, is expected to lose. That's where J.D. Vance is spending his time. As John O'Connell writes, with all the threats from the U.S. of pulling out of NATO and pulling out of their European bases, they don't seem to realize there is a rising groundswell of opinion that they should just do exactly that. In the European Union, we're done appeasing you. In NATO, we're done. We're done. You're deranged. You're talking about war crimes with an Easter bunny on Easter. You're out there using the F word and saying, open the effing straight. You're out there giving addresses to the American people saying that Europe should cherish the Strait of Hormuz and you go deal with it yourself every day. You or Marco Rubio, Trump or Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance or someone from the regime is out there attacking NATO. Oh, we're going to leave. We're going to leave. Just get the hell out. Leave. We're done with you. We don't need this. And that's what I told them they should have done from the beginning. If Trump wants to say, oh, NATO needs to hand me over Greenland or I'm leaving, then leave. Just stand up to the guy, call his bluff and push him out already. Call his damn bluff. Gerard Baker, who's the editor-at-large at the Wall Street Journal, says 100%. I detect a sense of resignation in Europe that there's just no point in appealing these cynical provocateurs anymore. Rubio and the top military know that pulling U.S. bases out of Europe would be an epic act of self-harm. They won't say it, but the message is pull out or shut up. Right? So Europe on the one hand saying, you can't use our bases for war crimes, and then just pull out or shut up. Leave NATO or shut the hell up. We're done dealing with this crap. And that's the thing. Stop babying Trump. Just tell him, shut the hell up and get out of here. Or or do what you got to do, but just stop the damn whining. I'll give you an example. In the past 24 hours, you had Marco Rubio basically say, if Europe won't allow us to use bases, then why are we even allied with them in the first place? Then just stop whining, Marco Rubio. By the way, when you were a senator, weren't you the senator who created the legislation to say the U.S. can't pull out with NATO unless there's a 2/3 vote of the Senate? Here's what Marco Rubio said. Here, play this clip.
Taxes was chasing updates and getting nowhere.
Oh yeah, I must have walked away.
Now taxes
so
is a TurboTax expert.
doing it all.
I think they're big. Goddamn.
Before, in addition to the UK, France has
these basing rights give us leverage and give us flexibility and operational capability all over the world. But if NATO is just about us defending Europe if they're attacked, but them denying us basing rights when we need them, that's not a very good arrangement. That's a hard one to stay engaged in and say this is good for the United States. So all of that's going to have to be re-examined. All of it's going to have to be re-examined.
And then, as I mentioned before, in addition to the UK, France has banned the United States from using their airspace and their air bases. Not only that, but we're now learning that the France's central bank, sold 129 tons of French gold stored in New York, bought equivalent gold in Europe that meets current standards, and recorded a 12.8 billion euro gain due to higher gold prices. As Che Baus explains, France repatriated all of its gold to Paris. It sold all of their gold in New York, then bought an equivalent of that in Europe, gained about 13 billion euros from higher gold prices, and said, see you later, we ain't keeping our gold reserves in New York anymore. But when you dig deeper, it also seemed that the United States no longer even kept the actual gold reserves. So there had to be like a settlement that was reached. And then that's why they had to then buy the equivalent of that in Europe, because it didn't exist anymore. Like Trump just got rid of it apparently. And so we're seeing right there just people pulling assets out of the United States. And I think what we're going to start to see soon as well.
And then you ask yourself the question, why did the ceasefire start? Because a lot of motherfuckers around the world is saying, all right, nigga, fuck it. We out. Everybody pull your money out. Grab your shit. And the powers that shouldn't be was like, holy shit, America is losing allies when it comes to this money. Somebody tell Trump to shut the fuck up after that ceasefire. It's all about the money. Because I'm still digging for like a word from Iran saying, we ain't saying nothing about no 2-week ceasefire. What the fuck going on here? Unless somebody got MK Ultra, or somebody got clipped, or this is all some big dog and pony wag the dog show. But what we do know is a logical explanation of why the ceasefire is because a lot of countries is like, nigga, fuck Trump. Grab your money, get the fuck out, grab the gold. The motherfuckers took our gold and they got to pay us back. I knew they was going to take our gold.
Learning about this, the dumping of treasuries, the dumping of treasury bonds. I think we're going to see bad treasury bond auctions coming up, but the world is saying bye-bye to the United States. We're done with you. We don't believe you're a stable place right now for the world economy. And that's very disconcerting. And then you have the Trump regime basically just, attacking anybody, any semblance of remaining alliances. I mean, heck, you had the Trump regime attacking MBS, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, for asking Zelensky for help because Zelensky has the anti-drone technology, the drone interceptors, the ability to the surveillance technology, and MBS and a lot of these Arab nations can't rely on the U.S. security umbrella anymore because it ain't working. And now you have people like you have Marco Rubio, you have J.D. Vance and others who are attacking MBS. How dare you accept help from Zelensky? Because, in my opinion, Trump is doing all he can to help Putin and to undermine Zelensky. I mean, take a look over here what Sir William Felix Browder had to say. He's like, you have Rubio chastising MBS, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, for asking for help from Zelensky, because the U.S. is unable to provide real assistance anymore to the Arab nations. America's security umbrella has been an utter failure. You play this clip.
And Marco Rubio was chastising Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, for doing a defense deal without getting permission from the United States. They're pissed. They're pissed. I mean, and we're in a world where the superpowers aren't so super powerful, and the supposed weak powers aren't so weak, and it's confusing for everybody, and it's particularly confusing for the superpowers. And so Donald Trump is watching all these Ukrainian actions and saying, "Well, you guys should have folded a long time ago, so I could have done my business with Putin." Well, this is really annoying.
I mean, you have the Turkish president Erdogan saying the following on Netanyahu. This was his speech that he gave yesterday. "I would also like to remind everyone, in the words of our ancestors, times change and power shifts. Those who undermine peace today merely to extend their political lifespans should not forget that tomorrow they themselves will need peace, justice, and law. History is full of countless examples of this. Most notably, Hitler became a victim of ambitions he cannot control, bringing great suffering upon himself, his people, and the world. Those who follow Hitler's footsteps today are acting against humanity, but are also placing themselves in that same Hitler role against their own citizens." And meanwhile, you have fires breaking out at the petrochemical plants in the industrial of Jubail in Saudi Arabia, following a barrage of Iranian military and missile attacks. This area, this Jubail industrial city, I'll show you a view from the air. It's home to the biggest petrochemical facilities and desalination plants, and Iran said it was going to hit those targets. It is hitting those targets hard. In addition, you have traffic over the King Fahd Causeway, a key bridge that connects Saudi Arabia to Bahrain, has been suspended due to Iranian air raid threat.
I don't think the WWE is going to Saudi Arabia anytime soon. Triple H got to cancel that deal.
Iran ain't playing around right now when it comes to this. It was notable as well. You know, Qatar tried to send 2 of its LNG tankers through the Strait of Hormuz without getting full permission of Iran on Monday after attempting an exit through the Strait of Hormuz, according to ship tracking data cited by Bloomberg and Reuters. And they tried to get through the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran was there to stop them. You can see right here those ships turning around, and then Qatar had a call. Qatar called the foreign minister Araghchi of Iran, and this was the readout of the phone call between Iran's foreign minister and Qatar's leader. Iran blames U.S.-Israeli aggression in the call with the Qatari foreign minister. Iran's foreign minister Araghchi told Qatar that the crisis, said drop sites reporting it, is exclusively the result of U.S. and Israeli attacks, charging Washington of using bases in regional countries to launch strikes and warning states not to allow their territories to be used for aggression. Qatar's prime minister condemned Iran's targeting of regional countries, calling it a threat to stability and rejecting attacks on civilian infrastructure under any circumstance. Araghchi responded that Iran is determined to defend its sovereignty and described U.S.-Israeli strikes on civilian and industrial sites as war crimes that must be prosecuted. Both sides called for an end to the war and a return to regional stability. Iran, as previously noted, demands a permanent end to the war and not just a short 45-day ceasefire. And again, it's notable that now you have Qatar calling up Iran, ostensibly asking for help, and Iran's like, we're not going to let you send your LNG tankers, your liquefied natural gas tankers, through the Strait of Hormuz right now, as long as U.S. and Trump continues to threaten us this way. As I noted before, while all of this is taking place, J.D. Vance is heading to Hungary to meet with Viktor Orban. As Volodymyr Trejtek explains, imagine an American vice president traveling to Budapest in 1956 to support a pro-Kremlin government. That's how pathetic the current U.S. government is.
Seniors, throw away your Social Security, because if you're a senior over 65 on Medicare or Medicaid and your Social Security payments are less than $2,500, you can now get a new spending allowance.
And J.D. Vance, when he departed for Budapest, tells reporters he's looking forward to seeing his good friend, Viktor Orban. Remember, Orban is the Putin puppet. We'll talk about any number of things related to the U.S.-Hungary relationship. Obviously, I'm sure Europe and Ukraine and all the other stuff will figure in pretty prominently. And what's taking place right now, as J.D. Vance says, will factor in pretty prominently, is Viktor Orban is trying to create all of these false flags, as I mentioned at the outset of the video, to justify shutting down the elections in Hungary that are a few days away. So one of the things that Viktor Orban continues to say is that there was this, attempt by Ukraine in order to be involved in a gas pipeline attack on Serbia to basically prevent Hungary from being able to get the gas that it needs. And this was a Ukraine sabotage event in Serbia, just a total false flag. And as Jane Key writes, despite no one believing his nonsense, Hungary's Russian black-backed kleptocrat Viktor Orban continues to double down on his fake emergencies with hope of canceling the election. Now, Serbians general officially cleared Ukraine of any involvement in the recent plot to attack Serbia's gas pipelines, which Orban is saying was done to hurt Hungary, which is false flag. The Serbian military's top brass, General Duro Jovanic, stepped up to the mic to give the official version of why their gas lines almost went up in smoke. Here's what he said. Is Ukraine responsible? No. He explicitly denies their involvement. Are they being framed? No. He claims the idea that Serbia is planting Ukrainian evidence is fake news. Where did the bombs come from? He claims they are American-made. Who is the suspect? A military-trained individual from a migrant group, and these weapons are American-made, he says, as J.D. Vance is going to meet with Viktor Orban right now to try to help Orban steal the election that's coming up in just a few days. Let me share with you what British-Iranian expert Sanam Naragi Aderlini has to say about the Strait of Hormuz and what's really happening there, and that the countries that are not helping the war crimes, she says they're free to use the Strait of Hormuz. Watch what she says here. Play this clip.
What are Iranians supposed to make?
Well, first of all, from the news that I've heard in the last 24 hours, in hospitals, for example, in Children's Hospital in Tehran, they're preparing for lack of electricity, lack of water, lack of gas, figuring out what to do with the kids that are in most critical conditions, sending the other ones home. In Bushehr, they're handing out iodine tablets in case of radiation. But I think this is horrific because the Hormuz Strait is actually open if you're not part of the war. The Spanish have gotten ships through, the Portuguese have, the Japanese have, the Chinese have. So the idea that the Straits of Hormuz are not open is actually not true.
It's largely closed.
Largely closed if you're supporting the war. If you're supporting an illegal war and you're supporting war crimes. They have hit 30 universities. They've been hitting the petrochemical plants. They're already attacking all these things. Schools. These are all war crimes. What is going on? And this is, Iranians are watching it. They're experiencing it. He's being a clown and, with the Easter Bunny.
I mean, he says a lot of Iranians supporting the bombing, and that they are worried when the bombing doesn't happen.
So we have a very loud, vociferous diaspora opposition that has been supported by Israel, but 66% of them in America are now against this war. And the fact is that in a country of 93 million people, where we now have people who are suffering from toxins because of petrochemical plants being bombed, it is really egregious to suggest that people want to be bombed. That is an absurd statement.
Right.
And certainly nobody that I know is saying that.
And then throughout the day, Donald Trump was attacking NATO. This is Donald Trump attacking NATO, saying it's a paper tiger. Putin tells me they're a paper tiger. Play this clip.
NATO is a paper tiger. Now, he's coming to see me on Wednesday, as you know. He's a wonderful guy. Secretary General is great. And Mark Rutte. He's a great person, but he's good. And it all began with, if you want to know the truth, Greenland. We want Greenland. They don't want to give it to us, and I said, bye-bye. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
And here Donald Trump attacks South Korea, Australia.
Did he say the truth out loud? Us like, you know what this is all about? We want Greenland. Since we can't get Greenland, bitch, we gonna bomb Iran. You should have finished this fucking statement, Trump. You know what this is all about? We want Greenland. They won't give it to us.
Japan as well. Let's play this clip.
You voiced your displeasure with NATO in the past. Is that a danger to the U.S. not being the de facto of the leader of the alliance, and then other powers within the alliance then getting the decision making when it comes to wars and nuclear weapons?
No, it's not a danger. Look, we went to NATO. I didn't ask very strongly. I just said, hey, if you want to help, great. No, we will not help. I said, that's all right. You don't want to help? Because I've always said NATO's a paper tiger. See, NATO is a paper tiger. Putin's not afraid of NATO. Putin's afraid of us, very afraid of us.
What?
And he's explained it to me a lot of times. I got to know him very well. I know him very well. NATO's a paper tiger. NATO is us. And when we needed them, but we didn't need them, by the way. We didn't need them, obviously, because they haven't helped at all. Just the opposite. They've actually gone out of their way not to help. They didn't even want to give us landing strips. Think of it. And it's not just NATO. You know who else didn't help us? South Korea didn't help us. You know who else didn't help us? Australia didn't help us. You know who else didn't help us? Japan.
And so all these countries at this point are saying enough is enough. We're done with you, Donald. We're done. We're sick of this. You had every opportunity to de-escalate. We're not treating you like a baby anymore. We're done. See you later. Good luck. We wish you the best. And that's what you should have done from the outset. You can't appease this. You can't appease this. Donald Trump says hell will rain down in a few hours and there will be catastrophic demolition of all of Iran. He's going to wipe all of Iran out. Scary times.
Yep. And then 2 weeks ceasefire talk. But I'm going to keep my ears open for what the fuck Iran is going to say. I want to keep my ears up for what Putin going to say. I know Putin had to have heard this. It's like, bitch, I'm scared of Trump. I'm scared of America. Oh, man, Putin, don't do it, man. I want to push the button on this nigga. I'm afraid of no fucking body. This motherfucker Trump talking shit. I'm talking about major cash shit. Because they got some shit to back it up. Remember, like, so do Russia. They got some shit called the Tsar Bomber. Look it up. Shouts out to the UK correspondent. Vance, I know she's probably still at work on her way home in a minute. But shit, man, what? This motherfucker said Putin is scared of him. Man, what? Putin is laughing, rubbing his hands like Birdman, waiting for the motherfucking dollar to collapse over here so they can start BRICS. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump doing this on purpose so America has no allies, and when the dollar collapses, there will be no help from anybody, and everybody will be locked up in a fucking surveillance motherfucking country. This will be a straight prison continent for real, or this will be Mad Max in a Thunderdome, or like this would be, this would be some crazy shit, because you know why? Here's why. On a realistic note, Trump fucking with the allies doing this shit could cause a travel ban for us not going to these fucking countries. And it'll be all bad for travel. It'll be all bad. And he beefed with the UK because they don't want, no shit on my bases. Italy, no shit on our bases. Japan, no shit on our bases. Australia. But you talking to NATO like you crazy, nigga? You must really got problems. You must really got fucking problems. Because now, if the United States get kicked out of NATO, now NATO can just pull up and be like, shut every military, classified and unclassified, the fuck down. And if y'all get caught doing some secret shit, y'all niggas get locked up for war crimes and some treason or whatever. They're supposed to get locked up for that now, along with Dr. Fauci and the rest of the fuckboys in Wuhan. A lot of motherfuckers supposed to be motherfucking military tribunal, execution style, death by live covering fire. But this is all bullshit, dog. And I'm just thinking about the state of the world, and it's just like, it's real fucked up everywhere. And motherfuckers got to deal with radiation poisoning after the bombing of motherfucking power plants and shit. I'm thinking about the children that's got to be born with birth defects because of this shit. You know what I'm saying? These evil people need to be eradicated. And like Pete had said, talk about this is for the United States bombing a school full of girls, man. Trump is bringing in the second coming of Christ. Just hearing all this crazy shit, dog, it makes me mad. It makes me want to blow up the planet. But let me get up out of here. We'll catch y'all in a minute. They block our music from Russia. It's on UK. Yeah, man. But Vance is about to go talk to a puppet of Putin. You know what I'm saying? Let you know that everything is all New World Order. The world is a stage. Because at the end of the day, if Russia is the enemy, why are you talking to the enemy's puppet? You did, some shit on the floor. Because United States or Russia and whatever, that puppet is working together on some shit. And the Russian billionaire that Epstein was fucking with is on the transhumanism side of the game. So don't tell her what the fuck is being talked about over there. But this shit is wild. And I'm still following the AI governance shit because like everybody's going AI, including Russia. So it's like, yo, I'm looking up the world events, but like I also seeing what the fuck they doing behind the Iron Curtain. So I can put everything into perspective. But following pattern recognition, everything is leading to transhumanism. So we just got to do our research, do our due diligence, do our cross references, follow the money, paper trail and shit, and watch these movies that come out because they throw the truth in movies and comic books, TV shows, and best-selling novels and comic books. You already know. And what's the deal with this Artemis shit? They need to quit motherfucking fucking with people, bro. Doing shit on April Fool's Day. Surprise, bitch. We ain't going to the moon. We ain't even floating around it. They doing motherfucking... Dog, I saw the footage. They're supposed to motherfucking be in the ship, right? And like some shit floated past like the camera. It was like product placement. It's like, what the fuck? Is this the Truman Show? It's like a motherfucking I think like Nutella or some shit. Nutella just like flew by the screen like Nutella. I'm like, nigga, we in a Truman Show. This is some bullshit. But let me get up out of here, man. Shout out to everybody. Transformers. They can hide in any gender, regardless of their chromosomes. No, Neo. If you identify as an innocent human being, you won't have to. Shout out to everybody. Right, it's a bitch that, yeah, man, this shit crazy. But shout out to everybody coming through. This is Trump 2-week ceasefire and a whole bunch of other stuff. I'm gonna keep my eye on this, and plus I'm gonna keep my eye on what Iran's saying because this shit wild. Because all we're hearing is from the side of Trump, and you kind of like seeing videos on the ground of some shit on TikTok or on Instagram. I mean, like Iran is showing shit of missiles being struck, and they saying, well, man, we don't know nothing about no ceasefire. And some people in Iran is like, I don't know what the deal about this ceasefire shit. But I just played a clip of 6 days ago, way before this incident, talking about like, we ain't doing no fucking ceasefires. So it's either somebody got into that Iranian prime minister's head to do the ceasefire, or MK Ultra, or Wag the Dog. This is all one big dog and pony show. Or got that phone call from the Illuminati or whoever, said, yo, bro, you're talking too much. You're losing allies. That means we're going to lose money. We are friends with these countries. And you want to motherfucking park shit on bases because a motherfucker from Israel. Look, I don't buy the genocide, but you fucking up the money. How do you balance out that shit? Evil motherfuckers got a lot of weight on their shoulders. They like, y'all want me to be greedy and a genocidal maniac, right? But like, who should I be more? You gotta be more greedy, motherfucker. And I'm gonna talk to BB when I get a chance. Nah, get the fuck out of my face. Yes, Illuminati, I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. 2-week ceasefire it is, because I'm losing money. Who knows how this shit went down? I'm just speculating. I'm just speculating and joking and talking shit. But let me get up out of here. This is your man, Servant K. Shout out to Eddie Groove. Shout out to Tammy. Shout out to Soul Brother. Shout out to the new person, Charlotte. And shout out to Low Key. Shout out to Jordan. We just dropped a new track. Make sure y'all check it out. It's called Can't Save the World. This is a quick HHN. Much love to my UK correspondent, Vonta. We gonna be back later. We gonna be back later because I think it's Wednesday, Hump Day. Happy Hump Day, Winging It Wednesday. We out. Peace. Catch y'all in a minute. Probably around like I don't know 1, 2. Not sure. We'll see.